Hello and welcome to another edition of Good Morning Pattaya, Pattaya Channel's very own breakfast show. I'm your host, Nick Pendrell, and joining me on the couch, as usual, is my regular partner in crime, Mr. Dave D.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Beautiful today, and I like the word couch because normally you say sofa, you see, so today being rather posh.
Couch.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you. And good morning also to our guest, all the way from Australia. It's Robert, who is an artist.
Thanks very much. I came via Pattaya.
Right.
Originally from Australia, yeah, that's sort of handy enough, yeah.
So which part? Because I know it's a pretty big place, that
Well,
Australia.
sort of the dusty part towards the ocean, about midway down the coast, around Byron Bay, most easterly point of Australia. Captain Cook sighted Australia from that point.
Oh, right.
And he went around the treacherous headland there without any great calamity. Mm-hmm. And, he named the mountain in behind there, which is very visible from the ocean, Mount Warning.
Right.
So there's a bit of historical rubbish for you.
A bit of historical, very interesting, very educational for our
educated as both now, Nick. That's the sort of... But
absolute rubbish, though. It's got no bearing on anything at all.
No, it's nothing to do with what we do.
None at all.
But let's talk about what you do. As we said, you're an artist. How long have you been doing that for?
Far too long, Nick. But I've enjoyed every moment of it. I have. I've been painting for about 50 years or whatever. I'm about 185 years old now. I'm wearing it pretty thin. But no, I've been doing it for a long time. I started off in economics and then I did a left turn one day rather than a right turn, and the parents sort of threw me out of the house and said, "What are you doing that for? We spent all this money on you."
It didn't go down too well.
No, and sort of, it's very close to basket weaving in their eyes.
Yeah, I'm sure they thought you were a basket case, let alone basket weaver.
Absolutely.
Has that been your, you say you've been painting for 50 years, has that been your sole sort of income, sort of, experience over the years, job, so to speak? I mean, a living?
No, well, it's been the mainstay. It's been the core business for me. It's been the core point of enjoyment. I mean, I can't get away from it. If ever I feel sort of trapped in another world, I retreat to painting because there's just an enormous amount of solace in there, and there's an enormous amount of passive enjoyment. There's relaxation so deep and so meaningful. It's a bit like some sort of spiritual adventure, but it's not. I'm not spiritual at all. But I mean, it's like that. It's like being in a plane with no one else, soaring above the clouds. So it's an experience, but it's an enjoyable one. It also earns me money. Yeah, I mean, if someone gives me money, they go and work hard on the street, or picking up bottles, or they lay bricks, or they make TV shows, and they go along. Then they buy something that I enjoy doing.
Are you like an all-around painter, or is there certain things you paint?
No, I paint just about everything. I paint. When I get bored, I switch to something else.
Sure.
But then, in the meantime, I've switched to other creative areas. Going back to the original question there, I rolled into TV at one stage. I got bored with painting. Not terribly bored, but I thought there's another window of expressing creativity outside just painting. Painting is a non-interactive area.
Yeah.
So you're not talking to people.
Solitary.
I mean, people go mad painting. They smell the turps, they eat the paint, they do all this sort of stuff, and they go loopy.
You're looking good on that.
I'm looking good. And I'm sounding good. But I mean, that's what happened. So in order to trick that number,
sure.
I decided to do a travel show. And I did 10 episodes and sold it to Discovery HD, and that went worldwide.
Wow.
We converted into 8 languages, one of which was English, which I have trouble with. And that went on. I did a few other shows, and then back writing books, but things that are creative to do with art, to do with expression and feeling and sensation.
Do you think that an artist sees things in a different light?
Yeah, I think so. I think most artists that I know are dysfunctional. Right. Excluding me, of course, which we're going to have a vote on after this. But I think I knew your hand was going to go up. There's one vote to go.
Yeah. No, I'm going dysfunctional.
This could be swayed.
This is going to go
it's
bad
a landslide
downhill.
victory for dysfunctional.
Yeah, but I mean, they do. Most artists that I've met around the world. There's one good guy in America called Scott Christensen. He's the best landscape artist. There's another guy in New York who died recently called Pino. Pino's the best figurative artist in the world, without any question of doubt. He and I got absolutely rotten in Carmel for 2 days. They couldn't find us. We were supposed to play golf at that famous golf course there, but we went missing in action. And Pino was the epitome of dysfunctionalism. And Scott Christensen, who's the best landscape artist, he can barely talk. He can barely utter words. I say, Scott, how are you? And he starts mumbling in some sort of Indian dialogue. But he's terribly gifted people. And a lot of these people are. They seem to be trapped inside a world of dysfunctionalism.
Yeah.
You know, it's a weird world.
So how do you start in the business? Because I'm sure a lot of people love to paint, but painting for money and a living, that must be a lot harder, just the whole business side of painting.
Well, the reality of business, it knocks the artist on the head. Most of them can't deal with it.
Yeah.
Most of them, I've got a pretty big following of people around the world, and the biggest question they've got to me is how, even Scott Christensen said, Bob, how come you seem to be everywhere in America, right? You seem to have it organised on the business end properly.
Yeah.
You seem to survive. We're driving taxis and you know, picking up bottles and working on the side of the road. And you seem to sail over all that.
Yeah.
I said, well, it's a question of organising people around you and making sure that they're doing their work. In other words, you can't take a gallery for granted. You can't take someone who purports to be a good salesperson who understands the business end of selling to be...
But as an artist, what makes a masterpiece in your eyes? You know, when people look at paintings and say, that's a masterpiece, why is it a masterpiece?
I'd say that in a year, a good artist, a high-strung, a high-powered artist would do maybe 3 good paintings a year. He'll do maybe 3 great paintings in his life. Now, what makes that great, or go from the good to the great, from the average to the good to the great, is a combination of things that happen inside your head at one point of time for a sufficient period of time, or repeating that same sort of sense of whatever it is in your head, greatness, or just it's like something happens inside your head where you all of a sudden you can do things that you normally can't do. Yeah. You're able to see things that you normally don't. You pass over. You're normally you're not shot blind. You're able to see something with immense clarity and be able to go to the paint and lift that paint and put it on without even thinking about it. And the skill that I have, somehow or other, I never had a lesson in painting, but I was able to go to colours. My palette's just like a dog's breakfast. It's like a dog, you know how a dog eats, they push everything all over the place. Well, my palette's like that. It's got brown, purple, it's all just a mess, but you can get clarity from there, and I just go like that to that. I don't even think about what's happening down there. So there's certain gift areas that artists have. Pino, who was the best figurative artist in New York, you look him up, he's great. Every woman loves his works. He could just slide some pasty paint across the top of the canvas, pick it up, and drift it off, and it'd be a veil. Now, he had a particular gift of being able to just know how to execute paint to canvas with a knife, with an instrument. In that case, it's a bit above basket weaving, because you don't get too many exceptional Mona Lisa type basket weavers. Not that I know of any of it. You guys, someone else might know about that.
Well, they say a picture paints 1,000 words, and we've only got 15 minutes, so I think rather than just talking about your pictures, we should actually see some. You brought some with you today.
There's a couple here that I've struggled with for a couple of minutes.
Picking that up on the camera, okay?
So
that's an example of your work?
That's an example. That's a sort of a mountain man cowboy one for America, guys shuffling across the stream and so on.
So how do you start with something like that? Because presumably they weren't posing live for it, because I would have thought they'd get pretty tired.
I go to these places.
I
go there, I tramp around there, I get wet, fall over, have a beer, do all the other things, have a pee behind the tree and all that sort of stuff. And then you sort of get to know the land, the smell of it, and what the feeling is. And that sticks in your head. You can't really paint from a photograph per se, because unless you've got some sort of mental footprint of it, then it doesn't really work. You don't get that sense of... if I'm going to paint someone, I've got to be in front of them and see them. And I could go back and paint you now from a photograph without any trouble. But if I didn't have the experience of being here, it wouldn't work, because I'm painting something that's a chemical result. Paper and
that's another
and so on.
Different sort of aspect, isn't it?
So I bounced from one thing to another. That one came after that one. And I started one yesterday. I did one of, I don't know why, but anyhow, of Jesus Christ. Not that I'm returning to anything, because I don't go in that direction, but I thought everyone at some stage has got to paint some religious thing.
Yeah.
So
That's all the greats have.
So I won't go there anyway. So I did one. It'll go in American Art magazine.
So that last
Someone will
picture,
buy it.
where was that set?
That was set. The beach scene I took in Australia, and the girl I took in America, and the seagulls I took in Australia, at Manly. So I put things together, but the challenge is to make a story. A painting should tell a story, and a story to me, rather than paint something dark and bleak and depressing and morbid, paint something that's at least celebratory of life.
Yeah.
Do you sort of go to places around the world or wherever you are, or walking in Pattaya or anywhere, and just sort of look at something, focus on it, remember it, and then sort of put them together like a jigsaw puzzle in your painting?
Like that, yeah. It's like that. It's like that. I'm that used to it now. It comes as second nature. And where to put something in a painting? People, I get these inquiries. Where do we put this, Bob? I said, well, just put it where you feel good. Put it, if you feel good, put it there. Put it there. It's like women know how to dress rooms. Men don't.
Yeah.
A man will come in. Where do you want the table? Put it in the middle. Right? Where do you want the 6 chairs? Put it around the table, of course. Women come in and they go no, and they'll walk around the room. They'll size everything up. They'll look where that window is, and then they'll say, put it over there. 1/3 towards the left, 1/3 towards the right.
A question that I ask a lot of artists: what gives you the greatest satisfaction? Be it any artist, painting artist, musician, but what gives you the greatest satisfaction?
There are 2 levels of satisfaction. One's a personal one. Well, I think what gives you great satisfaction is simply to know that you're part of a bigger world. Your creativity is part of a bigger world, and it's appreciated by that bigger world. I think that's really what you get a smile out of that. You get a good warm feeling out of that. You get a fuzzy feeling when someone says, "Gee, I like that," or you get 100 people saying, "So I really like what you've done."
It's the best compliment you can ever get.
That's it. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, that's about.
How long does it take you, those 2 pictures that we've seen, how many hours of work went into something like that?
About 4 hours and 20 years, or say 40 years.
Really? I know obviously the experience takes work, but really,
4
just 4 hours?
4 or 5 hours.
Wow.
No, I'm quick.
Yeah. I was going to say, I thought it was more like 40 hours.
It's a bit longer to do my bedroom.
It does, You don't get much of a walk done into 4 hours. Now, obviously,
Amazing.
so you must just, as you were saying, it's like an intuitive thing. You're not overthinking it. It's just straight from the brush onto the canvas without overthinking it.
And you're waiting to get to the point where you want to get to.
Yeah.
So you go through it's like anyone, like a musician, they tune things in. They've got to do all the humdrum stuff first. Well, you do that. You do your background, you do that. Then you get the juicy parts where you go, okay, let's see if we can tweak that wave. So we've got a nice little roll over there.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get a strength line in. Let's kick some sand up through that rolling wave. How do you get they're the fun parts. Making something that doesn't exist. Making something that you can remember you saw be part of that painting.
And then go into autopilot.
Yeah.
And so how many do you produce a year then? What's your annual output?
I don't know. I'd say maybe 60, 70, 80.
Well,
Yeah.
so at least 1 a week then.
Yeah. If I get going, I'll do 3 a week. Then I'll have nothing. I'll burn out.
Yeah.
And then I'll stop.
What about the ones you don't let go?
Just about everything goes. That's the trouble.
Sure. You never had one in your hand and you go,
Yeah, I won't keep
this.
that one.
I'm keeping this one.
I want that one, right? And it's a mate. You say, oh, Christ's sake, that's the one I really wanted, And he said, but come on, you can do it. All right, okay, you can take it. Yeah. And that's what happens.
Right.
That's normal stuff.
Right.
And where can people see your work? Have you got a website?
I'm a website, roberthagan.com, and there's nothing in Thailand.
Have a Facebook site?
Facebook, there's a Facebook, yeah.
Which
if you
is?
go there, it's Robert Hagan Facebook
Great.
group, they call it.
Lovely.
And I put things on there. I'm painting every day. I put things on there, and they can all have a look at it. And
Good.
And then I stream. I'm building a big studio at the moment, so I can stream live out to the world and whatever.
Great. That's definitely worth checking out. So, Robert, thank you very much for joining us. Been fascinating
Been great,
finding
Rob.
out
Thank
about
you.
there. So, everybody, stay tuned for part 2.